The performer Robert Matthew Van Winkle once said, "Gunshots ring out like a bell." He might have said this to David Lee Roth, and David Lee Roth might have responded, "Things don't get better or worse, but they sure do get different." They are different kinds of cultural liars. This isn't a gimmick, though. Gunshots do ring out like a bell, Robert. That was the first March since 2002 without a school shooting. At the beach, the shorebirds instinctively distance themselves from me. In this moment, our relationship is precarious. Take notes on how they move and migrate together and apart. Once, I ran at them with a stick, pretending to be that sword-wielding guy from the meme. Once, I crawled and whispered, "I am a friend, and I'm coming undone." Once, I wrote some verbs in the sand, love and solidarity. Karen is on the screen again, talking about how does anyone have the right to tell her what she can and can't do. If she wants to get a haircut, she's damn well going to get a haircut whenever and wherever she wants. I'm paraphrasing and embarrassed about Karen. I'm embarrassed about myself for the Karen in my head. I want to hold her hands. I want to look into her frightened eyes and her into mine. I want to say to her, "This is frustrating, isn't it, Karen? I hear you. Where does it hurt, Karen?" I want to hear all about it as I walk you to your car so you can take your terrorist friends home. That's how I can hear you best. The poet, Nikki Finney, encourages us to write about what we know about. She says, "Just sit where you are." When I sit where I am, I listen to the frogs sing. They're in symphony with the birds. It's beautiful because it's also self-defense. It's not something they easily learn or forget. But Nikki, I'm a disruption, and I probably shouldn't sit here quite like this. Elsewhere, a Facebook group was created to connect neighbors and support each other. Or, as an anarchist might put it, someone taps into the always already networks of a practice called mutual aid. Mutual aid, sustained through the practice of mutual aid. In this group/network, a young white boy posted a message to my friends saying that they can't wait to hug everyone when this ends. "I didn't hug you before, and I'm not going to hug you after." Someone stand behind the boy. We'll call him Scott. Place your hands softly on either side of Scott's jaw. Gently move your hands as if they are a pair of scissors, guiding Scott's jaw to open, and say, "Please, sir, may you please give me a hug." Scott, who so desperately wants a hug, he can't recognize the desire to be held. The company, the Seattle Times, headlined that "Crime down during coronavirus." The crime, the crime, the crime. The Seattle Times, the Times, the Times. The problem with this line of headlining is without saying so, it's presented in that deceitful media type of way of trying to be neutral on a moving train. That train, though, is chugging right along, accumulating more bodies and applying more shackles every day. That train can be so loud and so disorderly, but not so loud that we can't hear the abolitionist Ruth Wilson Gilmore, who has repeated this sentence for many years. Where life is precious, life is precious. Gradually, the weeping coming from a person in the middle of the room with a blanket over their head stops. Beneath the weeping, I begin the prayer. The pandemic is a portal. The pandemic is a portal. And a little bit louder now. The pandemic is a portal. I wiggle my legs, wiggle my toes, wiggle my fingers. Staring at the ocean, I begin to slowly open my heart. This all makes Robert Matthew Van Winkle very nervous. He asks, "Will it ever stop?" "Yo, I don't know," he tells himself. Robert, allow yourself some tenderness and care. And remember, in between these thighs, All empires fall, slow like honey.